Hi, Chris Keller here again, back with Pinnacle Training Consulting Systems. Now we're going through some more sports-specific assessment or training-specific sports, baseball, golf, and swimming. So if you look in the manual, you'll see in the manual that baseball is about 3 phases: the winding phase or conking phase, the acceleration, and the deceleration phase. So with that, you can see in the manual, the majority of muscles being worked are lats, rotator cuff, oblique, and trunk. I want to show you some exercises that I think are really effective, not only for your clients beginning to be static, but a little more dynamic. One of them is a prone row, and targeting the lats over the physio ball. So you've got a sports cord, and you can even challenge them initially just from doing 2 feet to 1 feet, just doing a straight row, which will be for lats. To make it harder, you can do single leg, obviously, even harder, taking away the eyes, which will make it more of their abdominals and trunk. If you're working with a pitcher, or someone who wants to work on throwing speed, working on throwing velocity or speed or control, TheraBand down low. You can have this to start with, and actually doing a forward lunge with inter-rotation. So here, and throwing forward, and then stepping back. Going forward, and stepping back. So the sports cord is going to add resistance, and I was going to have to work on control. You could also do going backwards. So working on external rotation, working on glutes, which is here. You can see in the manual. External rotation, reverse lunge together. Nice exercises that work the rotator cuff, work the glutes, and we work on control. And lastly, for the core, not just your planks, but your points with leg lifts. And in the manual I have there is what I call a flexion, abduction, hip flexion, extension. So that works abdominals, trunk, shoulder, glutes, and a little more challenging for that baseball client. But we get into golf. Golf, remember, is 3 major phases. You have the setting phase, right? The backswing and follow through. Just like in baseball, the lats are the primary driver. The lats are one of the most important muscles that you work with your clients. I think the lower back too, because low back injuries for the research are more common, and most importantly, should be addressed. So when we talk about strengthening, actually strengthening for the lower back, there's a lot of exercises you can do. Again, I like traditional, you got your client, medicine ball, trunk rotation works really nice. You can do in place lunge, wood chop, and that's more dynamic, where you're getting them to move, you're getting some rotation with twist, right? Or you can even get into them eventually throws, side throws, slams down, rotational exercise, which are really nice. I think those are excellent. You can also get them doing using the tear tubing, working the rotator cuff again. Again, really nice to work that, pretty straightforward. And using your TheraTubing again, multi-directional. So you have it down here, working on rotation. Here, going from low to high, and high to low, which you can see in the manual, which I think are great exercises that work the trunk, the obliques, and the core. For working on stability, which I don't have here, we can see in the manual, standing on a half roll, TheraBand around the legs, taking a putter or a stick, and working on that motion of following through, really working to control their glutes on that half roll. It's a really good stability exercise. Key thing also, which I mentioned before, is stretches. Posterior capsule stretch is important for mobility, and doing your one-arm stretch, like holding on to machine, which are huge. When we get into swimming, 2 major phases: pull-through phase. Pull-through phase is pecs and lats, and then the recovery phase, which again is supraspinatus and the deltoids, which are really, and the infraspinatus, which are weaker. So the key thing with that, when you're working with a client, especially who's doing backstroke, is doing exercises that work on the back. So take the TheraBand. Down low, lying on the back of the bench, knees up, and working on control. You can even progress to working with abdominals and the posterior delt. You can even make it a compound by doing one at a time. But to really work the rotator cuff, the posterior delt, and these muscles that work on the backstroke, you can do reverse cable, we'll call it a fly on the back. For pull through, the pull through phase, you have them lying prone on a bench. You can see the manual, and pulling through, down. Pulling through and down. So that's going to replicate the pull through phase with pecs and lats. Of course, you can also work, which I like as well, any kind of cable row, single arm, make it more challenging on the physio ball, so it's a little bit less, more unstable, doing that as well, which is going to get the lats. Don't forget the medicine ball, the physio ball. Again, I like planks. Planks are great, working on timed, as well as working on alternate one leg at a time as well. And again, your medicine ball with trunk rotation, throws, and even follow-throughs. Okay? So hope those are some exercises that make some clarity. And next section we'll continue on with some more golf training principles.